What's up, guys and gals? Welcome on back to the Nerdcastle for another episode of The Long Dark, where we're actually making a fairly decent go of it right now. Our condition is back up to 60%. We're surviving perfectly fine. I'm just going to satisfy all my needs. I know, like, earlier on, I let, like, some of them get into the red, and I just don't really pay attention to them. That's because there's minimum thresholds that you can hit by, let's say that you have everything in the green, but only hunger is in the red. It will only take you down to, like, 30% or so, or if fatigue is maxed out, but everything else is in the green. It'll only take you down to, like, certain... Do I still have a bedroll? Oh, I do. Good. Okay. I actually never noticed that there was a button right there that you could just push for bedroll. Well, we need to forage for wood, and we're not going to use our hatchet because that is... I just don't feel... Yeah, like, look how much durability we use. I mean, technically, we could possibly find 12 wood by doing it like that, but it's just not worth breaking my hatchet over. So I think I'll probably go for 3 hours. We'll see what we find. If we don't get anything, we don't get anything. We've got more than enough calories to get by for the moment. We need ways to start fires right now. And so we got 6 reclaimed wood. That was a really good run for us. In fact, I think this day is probably going to go by very, very quickly for us because we're eating some old-ass meat right now. It's both old and from the ass of the wolf. And so that causes me to be a little bit suspicious, because I'm not really sure how the game's systems work. All of our deer meat is in really good shape though, so that's great. That'll allow us to maybe spend a bit of time tonight melting some water down, because it looks like we've already gone through the majority of our water supply. However, at this point what I'd like to do is forage again, because I'm trying to future-proof right now. Our fatigue is looking a little bit ugly, but I'll probably just ignore it. Let's go for another 2 hours and we'll see how we do here. I know that fatigue is going to be maxed out, but we should be fine with everything else, and this should be enough wood to get us through tonight so that we have the supplies that we need. Yeah, that was more than enough, so there it is. We'll go ahead and we'll eat a venison right now. So there it is. We are hungry again. I don't know. It says we got 1,000 calories in our stomach. Maybe it's talking about like our total fat supply. I'm not really sure how it's calculating calories in this game, because it says you get hungry when you're at like 1,000 calories left. So I'm wondering if it's talking about just like your carbohydrate storage or what. And our carbohydrate storage has got to be like nothing at this point, because we're eating nothing but meat. And in fact, in a survival situation, you have to be very, very careful about eating only a meat diet. There are people who are very, very proficient at putting down snares and things of that nature, but you have to supplement your diet with some sort of fat. A lot of people don't know this, but your brain runs almost exclusively on fat. And so, for example, I personally have tried things like fruit diets and fruit purges and things like that. And if you don't... I used to be really, really overweight. For anybody that hasn't heard the story, I was quite plump, I guess, back when I was like 20 or so, and then it took me about 5 years, but I lost like 90 pounds basically. And so I tried all kinds of crazy stuff trying to get it to work, and ultimately the only thing that does work is hard work. But eating lots of salads and, you know, passing on dessert helps a lot too if you're already doing like a workout regimen. But what I'm saying right now is that if you're in a survival situation, what's going to happen is it's called rabbit fever, and you get it by eating too much lean meat with no fat on it. So when you kill something, you're going to want to eat the eyes. You have to eat like all the fatty bits too. And this can be a big problem for a lot of people. A lot of people really, really sincerely hate fat. Like, for example, on their steak, they cut it off and things like that. You got to get rid of that mentality if you're going to survive for any amount of like time out in the wild. It's just, that's how it works. So let's get the wood stove going. But yeah, we need that fir wood for later, in case you're wondering. We need that to fix our gun, so I'm holding onto the fir wood for right now. We're going to use the reclaimed wood for everything else. But yeah, you can get rabbit fever. You can get a number of problems from not getting enough fat or enough things in your diet. I mean, ultimately, if you're in any sort of... I don't think that there's anything that could be qualified as it doing this to you. I'm going to use an accelerant. We got so many accelerants right now anyways that it doesn't even matter. That'll allow us to train up our fire starting anyways. Did I just use the fir wood on accident? Oh, hell. Okay, so we can go get another one. That just means that we've got to go get wood outside, which for most civilized societies is a terrible idea. Never get wood outside. It's going to get you into trouble with the popos. I'm telling you that right now. Let's go ahead and I'm actually going to go for... I'm going to go for broke here, and let's go for a lot of water. This is going to take us a while, but I'd like to get a huge supply of water that I can just leave sitting off to the side, and we can just make use of. And then we'll add a bit more reclaimed wood. This is the goal of the night right now, is to make sure that we have enough water prepared for later, because our food supply is actually totally rock solid right now. Not only because it's frozen from being outside for so long, but because we've actually got a lot of food. And so we'll use the remainder of the time left on our fire to go ahead and cook a whole bunch of venison. We'll watch our status right now. If it pops into thirsty or hungry, we'll make sure that we satisfy that. And for right now, there's not a whole lot of things for us to do aside from just hang out at the house and wait till we, you know, survival comes knocking on the door. I mean, we're going to run out of things to kill eventually, but with the amount of food we have right now, I bet we'd be able to survive for a long, long time. There's no adventures left to have, unfortunately, which sort of makes me think that it might be time to break off the series, but I don't want to do that because I feel like so many of my series lately have been really, really short, just like little 10, 11, 12 episode excursions, and I say that with some sense of irony, I guess, because honestly, we've had Red Faction and Grimrock running for quite some time, and so those are long duration playthroughs, but let's eat right now. That'll put our calories back up before we go down for night-night. We've got thirst over here taken care of. We've got almost 6 liters of potable water. That'll last us 2 to 3 days, but what I'd like to do is start building a supply. I would really like to start building a supply of just things that we have around. And so there's a whole bunch of water bottles right there. I think each of those is a ½ liter, so basically like one little serving of water. We're exhausted. It's 10 o'clock. Our fatigue is maxed out, so I think what I'll do for now is let's take a siesta for like 6 hours. We'll wake up at 4 a.m. and we'll figure out what we want to do then. 6 hours is never really sufficient to make it all the way back down on your fatigue meter. So what I'm guessing is we'll probably have to eat and drink real fast when we wake up. Actually, hunger and thirst are still looking okay. And plus, I can't see my water, so we're going to have to sleep anyways. There is no choice here. So let's sleep for 3 more hours. That'll get us to daybreak, I think. I think daybreak is somewhere around 6 a.m. It's got to be in that vicinity somewhere. Do those little clock hands actually move? No, they don't. It's pointing at like 10:15 or 10:10 or something. I don't know. I didn't see it. I didn't get a good look at it. I was rubbing my eyeball. Grab a couple water bottles right now. Oh, each one is 1 liter. Okay, that works out perfectly fine. 1 liter as opposed to multiple followers. Oh, metric, measurement-related humor and punnery. We have it here at the Nerd Castle. Let's eat ourselves some venison. What I'm finding is that if you stay on top of your hunger, you don't really have to worry about it. It's just in the beginning of the game, there's that giant sort of shift period where I should also be taking off my clothing right now while I'm inside. That's the other thing that I was thinking about, is that our clothing has got to be degrading pretty quickly. Actually, it's not. It's still looking okay. And we've got repair materials left to take care of it. I'm a little bit worried about what's going to happen when I run out of it. But let's go outside and we'll search for wood outside, I guess. I think that we'll treat this like a normal Saturday night at the Splatter Cave. How cold is it? It's minus 15, so we're going to get cold really, really fast out here. So we'll have to be careful about that. Let's go ahead. I'm not going to use the hatchet because it's just simply too valuable. If I had a knife, I wouldn't worry about it quite as much and I would just use it. But since we have no backup plan, yeah, we're already half frozen right now. So let's go back inside and we'll forage for wood inside for a little bit. Outside is not working for us.
So cold.
And our calories are a little bit low again. And so we'll go ahead and grab another 1,000 calories right there. I do wish that if you were doing strenuous activity, you actually, like for example, if you're chopping firewood out in the cold, you can work up a reasonably decent, well, I mean, you produce a lot of warmth when you do that, especially if you're in snow clothes. I've chopped firewood out in the snow before, and I wasn't cold at all, even though it was probably like 16, 17 degrees. It's just because you're keeping yourself moving, so I don't know. Maybe they should bring some of those little factors in, but we'll forage for wood in here for a little while. Because we need to cool down, or we need to, not cool down, we need to warm up. There we go, my bar is moving in the wrong direction mentally. So we got a little bit more reclaimed wood. Our hunger's still, God, we are going through food really, really rapidly, but we are doing strenuous activity today, so that's the thing to think about, I guess. I should probably put my gun away just in case. I don't want to fire any of my rounds on accident. After we took that miss on that deer, I am concerned about the longevity of our ability to hunt. How is this doing right here? This needs to be cooked like tonight. And so I'll try and cook this up tonight. We got plenty of water. Are we warm? Okay, let's go back outside. We'll try and get some more cedar firewood. We got 2 off that last little gambit that we did. We'll do another couple hours out here. And I think that should be... I don't know. We don't need cedar. We need fir. So unfortunately... No, stop putting the hatchet back. That upsets me. Stop it right now. I will scream. I will scream. Alright, fur firewood is what we needed. There we go. But we only got tinder plugs on that one, so it wasn't quite as... Oh, good. We're not actually freezing. So we can stay out here for a little while longer. Let's eat some of that venison. Not the raw venison. The 25 calorie. Let's eat that right there. And I guess the venison that's about to go bad will supply us for the next day or two. And so we've got that. Let's forage for wood for a couple more hours. Since we're warm now, I'll go for 3. I don't see any storms or anything coming in, so maybe we'll be alright. You can never tell when you're outside in this game. Sometimes things go wrong really, really fast. We got cedar firewood and 3 reclaimed wood. We're still looking good on all of our meters. Everything is looking really, really good right now for foraging outside for so long. We are using up a ton of our food, doing a lot of activity, but we need the wood in order to repair our guns, and we also need it to repair our axe. So it's kind of like one of those things that we have to do. It looks like tomorrow we're probably going to be setting out to hunt for a little bit. I think that's probably going to be our next goal, is going to be to find ourselves a bit more food on the morrow. So let's cook up some food right now. It's getting towards the evening. We'll drink the remainder of our water supply, and that should be more than enough to keep us rolling into the evening. There we go. Yep. That's going to do it. We got it all the way back down to the left-hand side on our meters, and meters love the left-hand side. They rant about it, they rave about it, they write about it. They have, like, journals. They actually have trade journals about going to the left in meter culture. That's just a thing that they do. Let's go over here, and we will go with... We've got a ton of reclaimed wood, so I think I'll probably use that tonight. I'm going to try and light it the normal way, and if we fail a couple times, I'll probably throw an accelerant on top of it. I don't know if what it does right here is as the meter goes up, it checks.
Are you serious?
Ugh. You are really bad at lighting fires, man. I don't want to make fun of you or anything, but this should not be this difficult. This should be really, really easy from just a basic standpoint. Maybe I'm like pyrophobic or something. Oh my god, are you serious? Come on. Like, this is not difficult. Just use the accelerant, and maybe that'll get my skills up to the point where we have a better chance. We'll just use it like training wheels for fire, I guess. Reclaimed wood is all we're going to be using tonight. And I think that should be about enough. But we'll cook up all the food that we have remaining, then we'll use the remaining time to make more water, because there's nothing left to really cook, so we might as well just get this done. It sounds like we're pretty close to exhaustion, which is expected. We spent a long day just gathering wood and bringing it into ourselves and just allowing it to be around us. And so when you spend that much time around wood, you tend to get a little bit tired. I think there are some areas off down the railroad tracks and to the left a little bit that we haven't looked at, and so maybe there'll be some deer... There might be some deer towers or something out there that we can make use of over the next couple days. Maybe scavenge up a few more tinder plugs, or maybe a first aid kit or something. I don't know. There's also, what's his name's cave? Alan's Cave or something? There's a place called Alan's Cave that we haven't been to yet. I've been to it in some of my personal playthroughs. But other than that, I haven't been there. Let's go and... Honestly... How are we doing right now? We're not fatigued, and it's not late enough to sleep. Let's beefcake out our water supply. So I'll go for that right there. Let's get 2 liters right there. I don't know how long that's going to take, or if we're going to have time to actually do this, but I'm going to try. I think we should have time. 40 minutes seems good enough. Yeah, we'll make it. It'll be fine. So the extra 2 liters of water will be helpful in the future. So we've got another 2 liters of water. I'll use that as my drinking water for the next 12 hours or so. We're going to have to go to sleep pretty soon, but I think we could probably get away with, now that we have all this food ready to go, I think we could probably get away with scavenging a little bit. I wonder if they nerfed, did they patch? Because I thought you could go up to 3,500 calories before, and now it seems like it's stopping at 2,500. I wonder if they nerfed calorie storage. Let's forage for wood for, yeah, 2 hours seems okay. Got 3 reclaimed wood just bouncing around in the darkness looking for wood. There's a joke in there somewhere, but it would undoubtedly be incredibly offensive, so I think I'm just going to leave it alone. Like, if you're wondering where my brain was going comedically, it was moving towards, like, jokes. And I can't see. I don't want to waste a match either. Damn. Oh, there's the bed. There it is. There we go. Let's get a little bit closer. And I think our hunger is going to be fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Comedically, my brain was going in directions right there that it probably shouldn't have been. It would have been funny, but it definitely would have been one of those jokes that would have spurred on some comments. So I think I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. if you really want to know, it had to do with, like, my brain was moving in the direction of, like, blindness, and it wasn't going to be like a Helen Keller joke. That's too easy. That's too lowbrow for me. Too lowbrow. But it was going to be somewhere in there. My brain was definitely connecting neurons and trying to figure out where the humor was going to go. Our fatigue's looking good right now, so I think I might... Let's eat that little venison that we have. I don't know why we have a 53-calorie venison sitting there, but I'm going to throw it in my mouth real fast. It's a morsel to, quote, don't starve. We haven't had food poisoning in a while, so I don't think it's related to the condition of the meat. I think it's probably related to... I think it's related to the fact that we probably ate too much. So what I need to do right now is we need to fix our hunting rifle. It's in pretty bad shape. Yeah, let's go for it, and let's just hope that it works, because if it doesn't, that's bad. And it looks like we succeeded, actually. So that actually, we're at 41% now. The other thing that I'd like to do is the hatchet, but unfortunately it looks like we can't use cedar wood to repair anything. And so since cedar wood, that actually hurt our tools a lot. Since cedar wood is not so useful for repair tasks, I guess I'll just drop the cedar wood, and we'll keep that entirely for burning. And so it's gonna be under material. We got 3 cedar firewood. I thought it said it burns with a romantic glow. My eyes were messing with me. It said romantic right there when I read it. So it says aromatic now. So I'm gonna assume that aromatic is what it correctly says. We'll drop all of this wood right here. That's my trick. That's the trick that I've developed over the years, is that, like, if I think my eyes are playing a trick on me and I'm seeing a word wrong, because my brain does word substitution all the time. And so, for example, right there, if I mouse over it quickly, it'll say starched. But if I stay on it long enough, my eyes kind of turn the T into an EA or something, or the E into a T, and it just kind of fixes itself. I look 3 times. That's a trick that I started to develop when I was like, I think I noticed it when I was 14 or 15, it started happening. And so I noticed it, and I made a trick where I close my eyes and I reopen them 3 times, and whatever, like, comes up the most, I just treat it like a general mathematical average, and I just assume that whichever one showed up the most is the one that's right. And it works surprisingly well. It works surprisingly well. What do I want to do today? We had something that I needed to do today. I think it was hunting. I think hunting was the thing that we were going to set out to do. And so let me eat some calories here, because you can't hunt on an empty stomach. Do we have enough water to bring with? We have 1 liter. Let me see how much damage I do to our 1 liter bottle right here. How much do I have left? Oh, half a liter. Okay, it's fine. Let's go out and we will hunt. Our gun, I think, deteriorates by 5% every time we take a shot, and so it should have 8 shots left in it. I'm not sure how the accuracy is affected. I think that I shot a little bit high previously, and I was looking for somebody to blame, but it's minus 14 out right now, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to stay out and hunt for a long time. Was there anything left on this corpse over here that we left? Oh, there's a deer right there. Where's my iron sight? My iron sight's missing. There it is. I think I'm going to focus on aiming low. There we go. Just ensure, because it seems to shoot a little bit high off the iron sight. I would actually adjust that if it was my rifle. It seems to be aiming a little bit higher than the iron sight. I don't know if other people are having that issue. And also, there we go. And so the iron sight, it actually shoots, if you look where I'm pointing right now, it actually kind of shoots, well, let me get a frame of reference for you. So with that tree right there, it seems like it shoots kind of in the dark area where it is right now, even though very clearly the gun is lined up on the lighter area right there. So you see that little zebra stripe right there? That's what I'm talking about. It aims a little bit high. Let's go ahead and harvest the... Actually, we're not going to harvest the hide. Let's just get the meat out of this thing real fast. It's going to take us 2 hours. It looks like we're getting warmer right now, but we are cold, so there goes our condition pretty quickly. I'm just going to bear the brunt of winter. Our condition is so high at the moment that I'm not concerned about it anyways. And so we'll grab all the venison. We will grab all the hides because we will have things to repair later on. I think we have more than enough leather though after this 4. I think that puts us somewhere around 11 to 12 leather that we've gathered over the course of our adventures. Our fatigue should be really high right now. Yeah, anytime you do anything like that, it seems like if you do any form of manual labor in this game, it seems like it really, really dings you with regards to fatigue. You get tired really easy. I think that... I don't know. I think maybe if they give us a bigger map, I would love to... I think it seems like they're developing a new map after this. What I would say I would do anyways is I would just start adding new pieces to the map. Just let it go as far and as wide as you possibly can. Just leave it all on one map. So for example, the one they're working on right now, just create like a door that you walk through. Like off that way there's a train tunnel. Just make it so that you walk through the train tunnel and you're at the new map, and you can walk around there if you don't want to connect them like manually. I mean, some people won't like that, but
Too much stuff to carry.
I would prefer like a free roaming world to do this in rather than just a selection of, you know, levels that you log into at the beginning and then quickly farm out. That would make you slightly nomadic, and that would be a very risky operation, as in any survival situation. If you're moving your base camp from one area to another with limited supplies, it's a risky thing to do. It's a very risky thing to do. Now that we're back inside, let's forage for wood for a couple hours. I'm going to have to find us some more fir wood, unfortunately. Or unfortunately, is how I guess I would say that, but we're exhausted now, and it's only 2 in the afternoon. I think what I might do then, let's eat another venison. We've got more raw meat than we know what to do with at the moment. The reclaimed wood should be more than enough for us to get our cooking done this evening, I think. So I'm not going to use the cedar wood. But let's take a little bit of a nap right now. I think that that's not a terrible plan. Let's take a 2-hour nap. And once our fatigue goes back up and our cold is looking a little bit better, that'll allow us a tad more leeway to bail into some of the new projects. Alright, so we've got that. We've got fatigue. Thirst is looking pretty bad right now, so let's hit that other half of our water bottle. I think it might be a good idea to purify off some more water right now, because it looks like we've got, each one of these are 2 liters. Or 0.5, hold on. I think they're differing amounts. Okay, so each one seems to be like between 1 and 2, I'm not sure. Nonetheless, let's go over here. We'll throw an accelerant in there so that we can level up a little bit better. Is our base chance just going up by 1% per skill? Yeah. So we'll keep it close. I don't know what we're going to do once we run out of tinder and matches and all that fun stuff. I think we have a lot of matches. Let's see. Tools. We have 80 matches. Never mind. We're fine. I didn't realize we had so many matches. I would just, yeah, throw the cedar in there. And we'll go for like 2 hours right now. We'll just kind of see where that gets us. It's 20 minutes per meat. And so you're looking at 3 per hour. So somewhere around 7 or 8 is what we're going to get done today. Looks like 7, actually. And this is how we're going to spend our time. So I don't know if this is a good spot for me to break off this episode. I don't know if people are interested in what I'm doing in the game anymore. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll probably record a couple more after this. And frankly, with how spaced out my upload schedule is in between when I record something and when I upload it, sometimes, unfortunately, it's a little too late for the feedback. I do ask for it, and it helps me decide in the later series what I want to do. If you're still entertained by what I'm doing right now, hey, that is fine by me. No big worry. And unfortunately, my phone is ringing right now, and it looks like it might be important. So I'm going to break the episode off here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me at the Nerdcastle for another episode of The Long Dark. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Take care, everybody, and hi-do.
I might have to drop some gear.